Morning, everybody. Welcome to Lockpod Season 11, Episode 11. This is the Midwest Most Dangerous Podcast, and we're coming to you live from NECA, IBEW, Power in Indiana, Lake County Studios.
You've already made a mess on Mardi Gras.
Yeah. I'm like completely unprepared for the show, so you guys...
Awesome.
That's okay.
Just keep eating the punchki.
Cleaning
That's
ladies.
what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Lindsay Cam. I think
Happy Pushki Day.
Yes, look at that.
Whoa!
I mean, Marissa would correct us if we're saying that wrong, but I guess that's the Americanized way to say
Poochki.
P-A-C-Z-K-I.
She sounds so happy. I know, that's her happy voice that you just
My
heard.
number one favorite.
She's like,
food.
Pushki! I'm happy.
I'm eating a big punchki. So thank you to Cakes by Karen, who made these unbelievable punchkis that we have here.
They
look
rock.
phenomenal.
Holy
Wow.
Toledo.
A
So,
wide variety of options.
I haven't even saved the...
and they weren't that expensive.
and thank you to Nico Sullivan, who brought them by.
They're in downtown Highlands.
They are, yeah.
And get some punchkis.
Yes.
Is this like the only day you could ever get them?
I don't think so, because I see them in the store, but I think definitely the most, it's by far, right, this week is probably the most
So what's the
punchki
theory
sales.
behind this whole...
Yeah, what is
Fat
it?
Tuesday.
Phenomenal.
it's
Fat
Mardi
Tuesday,
Gras.
eat up before Lent. Chow
Lent
down
starts
before you have to
tomorrow.
start
Why
sacrificing.
can't you can't eat sweets during Lent?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's probably just like a traditional, like,
I
eat
give
up.
I give up stuff that's going to help me.
Yeah, and I try to do
like,
something positive,
I'm giving
too.
up booze.
I
Dad,
think that's
you've been
good.
giving up booze for like a
And
year
you know
now.
what I find is if you, during Lent, if you focus on what your bad habit is, after a few years, it usually goes away.
I think that's right. So, like, I've given up
'Cause if you-
fast food, like, because I would have a habit of, if I'm working late, I'd stop by on the way home.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's a terrible habit, right? On the way, because who wants to eat that late at night? So I started giving it. I gave it up during Lent, and now I probably do it 10% of what I used to do it. Although I've lately been getting in a bad habit again. The other thing, like running, like I've been running a lot.
Yeah.
So to kind of get ready for Lent, so I've been like kind of exercising and running, and I
can
think
tell.
I'm starting. It doesn't show yet,
You look
but I
great.
think I'm starting to get like that runner's high.
What does
Runner's
that mean?
high.
What's that?
Tell me about this runner's high. I'm interested.
Oh,
'Cause
is it
I haven't-
like,
I've never run that much.
Yeah.
Like, so
Like
you
get
run,
in
do you like get
I'm
happy
getting in
and
a
shit?
zone.
Yeah, you get
And I
high.
feel
You're
I like
not so depressed.
well.
So you got a runner's high this weekend? Are you going to be
I don't know.
positive? Are you going to be positive on the
I
next?
don't think Kevin's ever been high, so he doesn't have a standard to base it off of.
If he thinks that when you're freaking exhausted running, that's high, then nobody would ever get high.
That's kind of what it was. Exhaustion.
Really? And you were just like tripping.
This must be
You're
the
like, I'm
runner's
tripping.
high.
This is a runner's high.
I'm
right?
getting dizzy.
Well,
It was more like a dizziness.
Take it from somebody that's been to Michigan a couple times. I don't think you were actually high, Kevin.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened? You just feel better?
I don't know. I was probably just getting dizzy, John. I'm
Okay.
probably not there yet. I'd like to say I'm in a runner's
Some
high, but
endorphins.
I hear a background
Someday.
noise, guys.
someday I'll get there.
John?
It's
Oh.
the fan.
No, it's
What
our
is
voice. It's the headphones.
It might be the headphones.
Oh.
There are extra headphones laying there.
Oh, well,
There's
let's
something.
move forward. Because
Maybe it's my iPad.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, look
Oh.
at
Oh, I hear that.
No,
Look at that.
Gone.
Where's my
That.
voice?
that. All right, never mind.
Kevin's iPad.
All right. So
Sorry.
anyway, Kevin
only
got
went 10
high when he
minutes.
was running.
No,
I got high and then I ran a couple times. Does that count? Does that runner's high?
sure.
That's
I think
awful.
that's like defines it.
This is
Like, that's
runner's
the-
high.
Yeah.
You get
The
high
one
and then you
thing-
run. I'm runner's high, right?
Yeah, I
the
don't
one
think I
thing
got
don't
runner's
want to
high.
do if I were high is run. That's for damn sure.
Agree.
Why would you do that?
How far are you running now?
No, not far enough.
3.2 miles.
Not far enough.
3.2
here?
miles. Right?
Yeah, I
5K?
can. I tend to
Is that
run a
your workout?
5K.
Yeah, that's my
if I
workout.
run. But I have not. I need to run more. That's going to be another
Don't you
part of my
guys do
Lenten
triathlons?
promise.
Like,
The mayor does.
oh.
This is making me freaking insane.
You still hear it? I turned
Yes.
it off.
Like,
Put both headphones on. Is it your iPad?
no, it's not my iPad.
All right. If you put both headphones on,
It
you
might
can't
be
hear
your
anything.
iPad.
No, it's not. All right.
What if it was like always Dad's iPad?
4.
Okay.
The only headphones on now
Is it
should
your phone?
be ours. None of the guest headphones.
Oh, it's Tom's phone.
Oh!
What do you know?
Son of a gun. No wonder I
This
heard
is
it.
driving me crazy, you
Well,
idiot, John.
it made me. No wonder I heard it. It was right next to
It
me.
was right
The
next to
call
you.
is coming from inside the house.
Yeah. Thanks for
is
reminding me about
awesome.
my phone.
All right,
Hey,
let's reset.
I'm so happy about that.
John,
Yeah.
I want to get in. We usually don't jump into world politics right away.
But we are today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
We
was
got
really.
some shit to talk.
Because, like, I'm convinced that Donald Trump, when he ran in 2016, Donald Trump said some stupid shit.
Yeah.
And now I think
yeah.
looking back on it, you're like, okay, he said so much stupid shit and shocked so many people that he was like all that they could talk about in 2016. And
Yeah, or maybe like he didn't really know much about the presidency, so maybe he was just talking shit, thinking
Sort of like
number
talking
one,
like we
I don't
talk.
even know if I'm going to win.
Yes.
But like we
Yeah.
talk about the presidency and we don't know shit. Like what I'm saying is he
God,
talks
I don't
like us,
talk-
right?
Yeah,
I like to think we know something.
I would think I know. I think I'm actually going to say I know more than him about certain things geopolitically. I mean,
Okay.
just because I don't think he's
That's
a
fair.
student.
Well, now
I don't think he's a
before,
student of that.
in 2016.
No, I
you
think
say.
now. I think I don't think he. I don't think he's a
think so.
student of
No
politics,
offense.
a student of history.
I know, but he got briefed by people that are.
He
extremely
did. They said he never
You know
read his
about
briefs.
aliens.
All right. Well, anyway, nonetheless, I mean, I'd love to see this test. I would be rooting for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I just
Yeah.
think, no. First off, I don't think he's dumb.
I don't either. I just don't think that's his thing.
I think he's an asshole. I don't think he's dumb.
I don't think he's a student of history, and I don't think
He
he's a
went to-
student of geopolitical.
But he went to great college.
he went to same university I did.
Right. That's
So,
true. He
yeah,
went to. He had private schooling.
He did.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I think.
Yeah, I don't think he's dumb.
think
I
he's
just don't
got
think he's into like.
So you're like Donald Trump ish. Like,
No.
mentally?
I just don't think. I think he focuses on other things, not necessarily like the history of European politics.
Okay, so going back to my point, though, in 2016, I think his thing at that time was to shock people so much that that's all that the news commentators could talk about.
Fair.
And as a result, he won the presidency. And now, I think that he did the same thing again just this week. He said some shocking stuff, and I'm not sure if he means it or if he's just trying to get publicity.
I think he means it, but I think
Come
it's also
on!
to shock. I think it's
So,
also
John,
for
you
shocking.
don't. That's good. I'm
No!
saying John doesn't think he means it.
No, dude. How could anyone believe what he? You guys want to play
Well,
it for the audience?
the president of Poland, the president of Germany. I mean, like people.
If I was
believe
like
him.
in the
Yeah.
Balkans,
If they're
like-
in the NATO
or I'm
alliance,
sorry, Baltic states. Yeah, right. Estonia, Latvia,
there's
Lithuania.
people that believe him, John.
Let's
Like,
play this.
President of countries, sure.
Can we play it so the
I'll eat my
audience is on
patty.
the
Yes.
same page too? All right, here we go.
Turn
of
down
the
your
presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay.
There it is. That's what we're talking about.
So let's treat it. Let's treat a country's security like I'm running a apartment building in Queens.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you didn't pay.
Yep,
I'm
you're out.
evicting you.
You still have to go through a process.
Oh,
You have to go
somebody's
down.
breaking into your house? Well,
Yeah.
that sounds like a
Yeah,
personal
you
problem
didn't pay.
to
you didn't
me.
pay your taxes. We're not going to be there. The cops won't show up. I love it. Oh, house is burning down. Sorry, you're delinquent on your taxes.
I think he literally thinks about people that like haven't paid their bills in the past. Like,
Right.
what has he done with them? He's probably sued them or
Right.
whatever, right?
But John's going to tell us he doesn't think that was real, right, John?
I just don't think. I don't believe that Trump would encourage Russia to attack or do whatever they want
I
to
don't
another
think,
country for not paying because they didn't pay their NATO fees. It's crazy. You also have to understand Trump has done this. He's talked about this before.
Yep.
And he's said it this way before, but he has elaborated and said, well, if I didn't say it like that, they wouldn't pay their bills, and they started paying their bills. So he has said before this is not a negotiation tactic, but a way to get these, because you got to understand 19 out of 31 members of NATO don't pay.
I get that.
This is the art of the deal, right?
Sure.
The art of the deal. Yeah.
I just
Okay.
think that
Listen,
you got to be careful about. So I think because he was president and because he is what appears to be the Republican nominee.
Yeah.
He's the favorite. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
So when somebody like that says that, you have to. I think you have to understand as that person that your words have more meaning than maybe you're trying in a negotiating tactic.
Look, I'm not. I just want to be clear. I'm not like.
Yeah, I get it.
I watched this and I was like, I know this is fucking coming up on Lockpod, and I know Kevin and Tom are gonna look at me. And I'm not. Fuck. Yeah.
John's like, I better find out how many of the 31 NATO countries aren't paying their bills.
Exactly.
By the way, I was impressed with that. He busted
Yeah.
that out. I'm like,
Thank
damn, John, no shit. No wonder, though. As soon as you heard this, you knew you were.
I was like, I gotta start doing some research.
Yeah. But
Trump, give me your notes.
I think you also have to be worried, like, okay, well, if this is how he feels about them, then what's he going to feel about paying the bill in Ukraine? Because, you don't have to, I guess not to go too back into history, but you don't have to go too far back, probably only a couple hundred years, to know that Russia historically wants to expand their borders beyond their own domestic borders because they want more security. So they move out, right? That's what happened after World War II. They went all the way in.
Desolate frozen tundra not enough for them?
No, they don't want. They want more, Lindsay. Right?
They want
And
more frozen tundra.
so, historically, they want to expand their border for security reasons, right? Go back to the Tsars, go through the Soviets, go through now Putin. That's what they want to do. And so if you're in Europe, like Tom said, and you're Poland or Lithuania or Latvia or Estonia or anything, Montenegro, I don't know, you go ahead, all those now NATO countries. How do you feel about this? It's threatening because I think Putin feels empowered.
Damn, I broke my fast accidentally just now.
Oh, whoops.
Sorry.
What time are you supposed to start eating?
2 hours. Like I couldn't control myself with the push key.
I feel like you weren't listening to my
No,
Russian
I totally
history.
did, and then I realized.
What makes you think that,
AD,
Kevin?
ADD.
When he just immediately started talking about
I'm going to start
punch
doing that
keys.
when he's talking about
Sorry,
something
dude.
serious. Oh, man, dude, I just dropped my pen.
Sorry, Kevin. I apologize.
I'll let you finish up the Trump story.
No, I agree with you. No, I just.
I think that's
a
the scary thing, right? That you have,
Of course.
that he is going to empower somebody like Putin. And by the way, I think this just doubles down on Trump feeling like, hey, man, Russian interference. I'm not saying that he's behind it. I'm not saying he should get indicted for it. But hey, if there's Russian bots out there, have at it and help me get elected.
They got the PP
You know.
videos, so he's nervous. Huh?
The dossier.
We have to understand, too, like Trump's saying this, but Trump also kept us out of wars, man. I mean, you guys can disagree with that all you want, but
I don't know.
the
I feel
world
like we
the
were
world is a
pretty-
freaking mess right now.
We were pretty close to a civil war for a second there.
That's right. We did have a civil war,
So-
an insurrection.
That was during his presidency, right?
Exactly, like you said.
Barely.
Yeah, global wars. We weren't really involved, but
What do you mean, close to a civil war?
She means like the
January
insurrection. But January 6th. John, I guess what the other thing I would say is, yes, agree. There were no wars during Trump's presidency, but a lot of
Which is
that, some of
incredibly
it,
rare, by the way.
no, I take that back. I take that back. Afghanistan was still going on. And I think that it is incredibly rare, but it's also timing. I mean, like Biden can't control what's happening he didn't know that on October 7th, Hamas was going to do that to Israel.
Right.
So, I mean, he didn't know that Russia was going to invade Ukraine.
And what would Trump have done differently than Biden's done in that situation? Trump is a huge supporter of Israel,
Yeah.
just like Biden.
That's right.
So, like, Trump would have done exactly the same thing, if not even more, doubled down with Israel.
Yeah,
Right? I think Biden's trying to, he's trying to, make peace with both sides. Yeah, you could tell because in the Democratic Party, it's become apparent,
Oh, yeah, it's a problem.
it's a major problem in the
problem.
Democratic Party. There's a split between the pro-Israel and pro-Palestine.
I mean, look at what the Chicago, not that they're a fucking body of any
Right.
consequence as far as national politics goes, but Chicago City Council is split even,
Right.
and that's probably all Democrat, I would think, or
Right.
very close.
I tell you what, it's not very often in Democrats. You find Democrats typically voting together, just like Republicans. But Frank, our Congressman Frank Mervan in the 1st Congressional District of Indiana, and Andre Carson, the Congressman for Indianapolis, they're the only two Democrat congressmen we have in Indiana, and they vote together 99.99% of the time. They voted differently last week on an issue.
Yeah, and I think
on Palestine and Israel, Frank voted for Israel. Andre voted for Palestine.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting to see over the last probably 20 years. I mean, I guess growing up, I always just thought that most Jewish voters voted Democrat. I think that's changed. I think that's definitely changed, especially since Trump was elected. So,
What's
Well,
your
that's-
thought on this, Tom?
What about
The Trump's remarks. I saw your Facebook post
yeah.
a couple days ago.
First off, I was in the military, and when I was in the military, we chased Russians. Fact. Okay, we were worried about Russians. Everything we did was anticipating a war with Russia. Granted, it was the early '90s, and things are different now. But Russia is America's enemy. Let's make no mistake. All right, they have thousands of ballistic missiles pointed right at America as we speak. There's submarines under the water with missiles pointed at America. There's bombers in the air with missiles pointed at America. Russia will obliterate us if they're given the opportunity. That's a fact. I don't give a shit what Donald Trump's relationship with Vladimir Putin is. They would obliterate us in a second. Okay, so I don't really understand the Russia-loving Republicans. I just don't. The Putin-loving Republicans, it's traitorous to me.
yeah, and I think, John, another thing is, deterrence works, and I think deterrence has worked. That's what helped us stay out of any crazy situation during the Cold War. The NATO alliance was one of those deterrent effects, and I think you don't want an unstable Europe, because an unstable Europe historically has created, the resulting deaths of millions of people.
Yeah, world wars.
Yeah.
That's where they start.
And so I think anything you can do to keep Europe stabilized is important, which is why I've always thought that helping Ukraine, and by the way, we haven't had to put one soldier on the ground in Ukraine, at least that I know of. There's probably special forces or something, but
Right.
that I think staying out of that war by helping fund the Ukrainians who want to fight for their homeland
Mitch
is a good
McConnell
thing.
said something just like that, Kevin. Mitch McConnell said, and I'm not a fan at all, But he was like, what do I not like about Ukraine? We send our money over there and our boys get to stay at home. And right now they got Ukrainian boys fighting against, Russians. And our biggest enemy in the world, Russia, is killing themselves fighting Ukraine. And all we're doing is sending money. It's the best deal America's ever had. So why? And we can't even get these assholes in Congress to support that. It's send money instead of our people, our young men and women. Why don't we send them dollars instead so that our kids could stay home and not get killed?
And I think most Americans would agree with that. I
agree. But not in Congress.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, look, Kissinger, right? Like a lot of these former historical diplomats always said, like, you have like the far left, which is like pacifism, and we can't get any wars. And you have a lot of far right would be like, we're xenophobes. We just want to stay insular and stay here and isolationist. Both those are dangerous. Mm-hmm. You have to be engaged. And I always say, like, America is a good global policeman. I'd like to be a global leader on this topic.
I hate being a global policeman.
I hate it, but I mean, if we don't do it, who's going to do it? Who do you leave it to?
Shayna said, after listening carefully for many years to both Kevin and Trump, I feel 100% confident Kevin wins the World History Civics.
Thank you, Shayna.
100%.
Good. I think you would too.
Thank you.
I don't think Trump's as dumb as you
Nerd.
think.
I know. I'm not saying he's dumb.
Yeah.
I agree he's smart. I just don't think it's his thing.
I think Trump's real smart.
I don't think it's his thing. I did like the fact that when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, he congratulated Kansas instead of Missouri, but that's great.
Did you? I'll guarantee you, it's because he doesn't win the city of Kansas City. He can't bring himself to say
Missouri,
but he'll win Kansas, so he'll say Kansas.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, that's what he's thinking.
That's funny.
He's like, I'm not going to say Kansas City.
I
get my ass kicked in Kansas City, right? Because he doesn't win cities; he wins states.
Yeah,
right?
There you go.
But
it's funny.
By the way, did you see our RFK Jr. Campaign commercial?
Yes, but I was wondering who paid for that.
I saw it and I got confused. I was like, I think from his perspective, that was a really smart campaign commercial idea.
He didn't do it.
It was paid for by a PAC. I figured it was a Trump super PAC or a conservative super PAC.
Oh.
It was like Values for America.
He knew who it was.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he did? John, do you know, was it conservative or I thought it might have been like somebody that supports Trump.
It was his super PAC, but they don't coordinate.
It was, yeah.
It was his super PAC.
It was. Okay. I was
but
curious
he was
about
like, we don't coordinate. And by the way,
I
got in shit like that where there was a super PAC acting independently like super PACs do, and I got blamed by the Flores family that I was like, attacking their mother who just lost her husband. And it was totally done by a super PAC that I had no coordination whatsoever with. I had 0% coordination. They were taking pictures off of my website, and we took the picture down, but it was too late. They'd already pulled the picture from us. Mm-hmm. So what he's saying is, this is a super PAC. They ran this commercial. It's independent of me. And if he calls him up and says, hey, don't do that again, it's against federal law.
I just want to see who that super PAC is.
It's his. I read an article about it.
Okay.
He said he apologized for his super PAC, but he cannot coordinate with them. You read that, John?
Yep. He tweeted. He apologized. Some of his family tweeted how insulting the commercial was. Like his cousin on Twitter.
Probably. Yeah. A lot of the Kennedy family does not appreciate what he's doing.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, man. Like, as an independent, he's smart running that way. Because the DNC rigged the Democratic primary.
Yeah, I mean, he's only going to hurt Biden.
It got my attention immediately, and I don't pay attention to those kinds of
Well,
things.
everybody's watching the commercials. So you're like, literally, that's the only time I'm watching football where I'm not fast-forwarding through the commercials.
Well, the interesting thing about that commercial is it really was, that was JFK's original, like, Kennedy. Right. That was like his original.
Was it?
Yeah, so like it was from the 60s, John.
No, you didn't know that, John? Yeah.
No.
It was a famous commercial, John.
When he ran in the 1960s.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. That's why anybody probably over like 70 like knew exactly what that commercial was.
Yeah.
All right, this must be it.
That's it.
Go.
Super Bowl.
Yep.
It's an ad for controversial third-party presidential candidate Bobby Kennedy Jr. It was a carbon copy of the ad that helped propel his uncle, JFK.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just put his face on JFK's.
Wow. I thought it was just like the song they used or something.
But
I think it was
both
creative.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Oh yeah.
I paid attention to
it.
What's the purpose of a commercial?
Pay attention.
To get attention.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Without a doubt.
American values.
I didn't see Biden doing a damn commercial.
For it all he wants,
or Trump.
It's got its purpose, and it fulfilled that purpose.
He's apologizing, but I don't think he's really sorry.
No, he doesn't.
More people are talking about Robert Kennedy Jr. this week than they were last week.
Yes,
how about that?
Which is the purpose of a commercial.
Yes.
Good job. Good job, Super PAC. Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Right?
You did your job.
I'll be honest with you, man. Like, I think this whole thing is a humongous American fail. The whole thing. The fact that we're running two 80-year-olds against each other. Like, let me ask you a question, DNC. I know you listen, okay? How the hell am I supposed to get young people excited about this freaking presidential election?
That's what I'm concerned about.
I mean, we got two men in diapers running against each other, right? And I'm supposed to go out and get 25-year-olds interested in this race. And they're interested in things like what's going on in Palestine. That's a fact, right? I'm not saying I agree or disagree with them, but that's what they're interested in. And I got two men in diapers running against each other.
I don't even know if
Please get
into
interested in
the
this
ballot
race.
box. Yeah.
You know, one of them just made poopy in their pants. It's your job to guess which one, you know?
I think that's my
You don't
biggest.
like that joke.
Oh, I think I was just thinking through this though. That's my biggest concern is there the enthusiasm on the Democratic side to come out and reelect President Biden? And I am a Biden fan. I
Are you
like
excited?
President Biden. Am I excited? No, I'm nervous.
I'm
extremely nervous.
I'm not nervous. I think the president's going to lose, and I'm not excited whatsoever.
I don't know if the president's going to lose. I just don't think it's necessarily in the party's best interest to continue on this path.
Why are you being nice? It's not in the because like Kevin and I were talking this out, John. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I like Joe Biden. I voted for him 4 years ago. I'm happy I voted for him 4 years ago. I think he's done a fine job since he's been there. Okay. All right. Fact. All right. However, I don't think he's going to make it through 4 more years. I honestly don't. I think that something's going to happen to him. Maybe it's a stroke. Maybe his mind fails. I think it's failing already. So he's got 5 more years. He's got this whole year plus 4 more after that. If he doesn't make it, we're voting for Kamala. Let's be honest. We're voting for the vice president right now. This is who we're pushing. And I personally would rather see the Buttigiegs of the world running. I'd rather see the Gretchen Whitmers of the world running. I'd rather see the Gavin Newsoms of the world running. All due respect. I think the DNC, if they really cared about the Democratic Party, they would have let an open primary happen. And Biden, if he won it, God bless him. I would respect him a lot more if he ran and won in a primary. But we're voting for Kamala right now. And I'm not on board with this.
I'm really concerned about it as well. I think that, the one thing that we've talked about on here that kind of still gives me hope that there might be a give on this is that, we read about the fact that President Johnson got out of the 68 race in April.
Which is still
a couple months away. So I don't know. Here, look.
And
everything.
by the way, Democrats lost that year.
They did.
Yeah.
Yes. Good point. Everything that I've seen, I think a lot of it is perception versus reality. All the interviews you see with like the generals and stuff, they're like, look, Biden's fine. He's good. He's still sharp, whatever. But I think publicly, the gaffes that he's making about like world leaders, this report that this prosecutor went way overboard on that. I think.
Could I ask you a question now?
Yeah.
If my mind was failing me, and I'm like, Kevin, you know me.
Yes.
I'm slipping.
Yep.
Like shit's going wrong. And it's like obvious that
You don't got to ask Kevin. I'll do it.
But what I'm saying is,
take
Lindsay,
you out back and put you out
no,
of
I'm trying to
misery.
I'm trying to make a point here. Okay, my point is this: I'm surrounded by people that know me and love me, my department heads. Okay, and they know I'm slipping too. Maybe I'm getting old. I'm just forgetting stuff, right? And then somebody from the press comes up and says, "Kevin, we've been noticing Mayor Tom's been slipping." It
Right,
seems like
no, he's
forgetting-
not. He's
Right.
fine.
No, dude, I'm with him every day. He's perfect, right?
Well, maybe that's just because
Isn't
I
that
am
your-
with you every day and I don't see the gradual slippage. That could be it too. I mean, I don't know, right? I don't. But you're
I just
right.
think
I
if you're
see.
asking somebody in the cabinet how
Publicly,
the president, they're
what are
going to
they
be
gonna
like, or
say?
you're asking
Yeah.
a general whose vested interest
Yeah.
is Biden keeps that job.
Yeah.
The general's like, he's the sharpest president I've ever seen.
It's a good
He's
point.
a fine specimen, just like Trump's physical.
Yep.
Right? He's the healthiest human being I've ever laid eyes on. It's like, shut the hell up.
So if anybody watches Meet the Press, I would encourage, if you don't, if you did, you saw this. If you don't, I'd encourage you to see last weekend's. They had a really interesting, after they interviewed Mayorkas, which was an interesting interview, they showed some clips of Biden from 2018, 19, 20, 21, and it was just shocking to see how sharp he was in 2020 and to where he is now. And again, I don't know if that means his mind isn't sharp, but just how he carries himself, how he walks, how he talks. He's getting older.
So everything you guys are talking about, the DNC is aware of.
Yes,
of course.
without a doubt.
And I'm telling you, I think you guys called me a conspiracy theorist last time I brought this up, but he's not going to be the nominee. He's not.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Okay.
We did
But
call you a conspiracy
I'm
theorist.
telling you,
Yeah.
it's not happening.
But
And
what
you
I'm
know
saying
what?
is, John, I
Yeah.
think the DNC would rather lose than replace him.
Gosh, I hope that's not true.
Wow.
Why are we running this guy? He's not the best candidate we have. The DNC doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
They're invested just like everybody.
Yep.
If there is a new Democratic nominee, there's probably going to be a new head to the DNC. And they're vested too.
Well, it's kind of
everybody's
like,
in this together.
It's the Bernie Sanders argument, right? He's like, look, I should be the nominee, but this thing's blocking me with super super delegates and blah, blah, blah. And he complained about that a lot in 16. So, John, what's your theory, though? Like, when's this going to go down?
I don't know, but you know what added to that feeling of mine was the night Tucker's interview with Putin aired. Super rare, dude. They randomly trotted Biden out to address the nation. Did you guys see this?
No.
And he was responding to the special counsel's results on his classified documents case. I have never seen the press really ever attack Biden much. They were going at him so hard about his mental, state, and then the next day, all the headlines, New York Times, like stuff like publications like that, talking about Biden's mental health. I think the ball is rolling on this mental thing, and he's not. I don't know when it's going to happen, but he's going to announce, I'm going to retire. Someone else is coming in.
John.
I wonder if Dr. Jill's going to have a talk. And
I'm telling you, John.
I would vote for her if she ran.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people I'd
Dr.
vote
Jill
for.
Biden.
That's interesting, John, though.
Yeah.
You made a really good point.
Yep. I mean, the press definitely were. I was surprised about that, too. I was like, what kind of situation is this?
Why would you wait so long if you were going to drop out?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know.
Like, it makes no sense.
I know.
Because, we said, Kevin, you said Lyndon Johnson dropped out 2 months from now in the 68 presidential election year. But they lost.
Yeah,
right?
they lost.
So why wouldn't you want to drop out now if you weren't going to run? Because I think, do we all agree, though? John, do you agree that we're voting for Kamala in the Democratic Party? I mean, really, because she's probably going to... My theory is this. Biden doesn't make it. Kamala fills in, she becomes the president, and then 4 years from now, we're going to be sitting here on Lockpod in season 20 or whatever it is,
40,
right?
in season 40.
And then there's going to be a tremendous amount of pressure on me as mayor to push President Harris. And I'm going to be like, and then there's going to be people like Pete Buttigieg that are like, dude, I got blocked. And there's people like Gavin Newsom and Gretchen Whitmer that got blocked because now the Democratic Party's got to be loyal to the president and help Kamala get 2 terms.
Tom, just yesterday, Kamala gave a quote, Wall Street Journal, I'm ready to serve.
Of course.
This woman who had less than 2%, by the way, in the primary.
Yeah, so my response to that is there will be some pressure to support her, but I think that it's going to be an open primary and she won't win it.
I do not agree.
Yeah, you think there's
Strongly,
really?
You think there's going to be no open primary?
I
You think
strongly
Gavin
disagree.
Newsom-
I strongly
Write
disagree
this
with
down.
Kevin on this. I strongly disagree.
What do you
Okay.
think's going to
Kamala would
happen?
win.
There'll
So
be no
the-
open primary?
Yeah.
You think that it's just
we're
gonna-
being forced to push an 81-year-old.
Well, he was elected at least.
But he's 81, running for 4 more years.
I understand.
Come
that.
on.
I think we're both
Do you
on
think
the
the
same
pressure is
page
bad
on
right
that.
now? Okay, so now we have an African-American woman president,
Yeah.
the first in history. And you're saying 4 years from now, Kamala Harris comes to Hammond and says, Mayor Tom, I need your help. And I'm like, sorry, I'm with Pete. That's not going to work, bud.
Well,
She's in for 10 years without even
I don't
getting
think
one
she
vote.
can win. I don't think she can
I
win a
agree.
primary.
So what will happen, in my opinion, is we'll get this presidency. Kamala will take over halfway through this, and we're going to lose in 4 years. Man, that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
And the youth are going to bail on us because we're pushing it. Hey, young 22-year-old, I want you to vote for this old man, friggin' 85-year-old. Like, that's who we're pushing. That's the party of the youth, right? That's why we're pushing. That's what I'm saying, Kev.
Yeah, we got some issues.
The problem, the pressure that we feel now will be magnified by 100 if it's Kamala Harris as president, because that's the first African-American woman president, and of course the Democratic Party's got to support her.
Yeah,
it's not even. They're not even asking.
It's a good point. It's a good point. But I still think the Buttigiegs and the Gavin Newsoms will run. I guess in my mind, I think that they could win. But you're saying
they'll ruin their career.
They can.
They'll ruin their career. Pete Buttigieg would be the guy that ran against the first woman African-American president. Does he want to be that guy?
Yeah.
Kev, I mean,
question.
that's why
he could be the first gay president.
Okay, but he's running against the
True,
first woman
true.
African-American. I just don't see it, man. Sorry, I'm fired up on
What about
this
Gavin
issue.
Newsom?
He'll be blocked.
I think he'll run.
He'll be blocked. He's a white man. We can't run.
That's interesting.
He'll be
See
blocked.
what happens.
He'll be blocked.
4 years.
God, John, you got to be somewhat proud of me that I'm like talking the truth like this,
I'm just
right?
taking it all in, man. Wow.
It's the truth, man.
Yeah.
It's not fair what's going on to anybody in the Democratic Party. I think we need to put the best candidate forward this year, and if that's not President Biden, the DNC should have allowed an open primary. And they didn't. They blocked it.
You knew it wasn't fair when they said we're not doing any debates on the
Yes,
Democratic side.
exactly.
I mean,
Why?
What? This
Right.
is the party
Why?
of democracy?
By the way, that's not going to help with turnout at all.
No.
Debates help drive turnout.
Of course.
And by the way, we're so fucked up in the Democratic Party right now. Robert Kennedy Jr. is running as an independent.
Yeah.
The freaking RFK Kennedy is running as an independent because why? DNC won't let him debate President Biden. If he actually was ever elected, guarantee you he'd flip parties. He'd become a Democrat, or he'd probably try to change the Democratic Party. But
yeah, I mean, he's a Democrat for sure.
yeah, of course he is.
But that's why it's going to hurt Biden's.
But that's why he
re-election.
can't run, because he knows the DNC is corrupt, and he knows that they're not going to let him run.
By the way, we talked about RFK not being really sorry about this ad. It's pinned. It's his pinned tweet. The ad. He's definitely not sorry.
This ad sucks. I hate it. Pinned to the top of my Twitter. So hey, we got a really cool topic we're coming back with, and this is going to be a multiple part topic. Okay,
Multiple part like today.
No, today we're going to cover
multiple
episode. This may cover most of the rest of season 11.
Wow,
Lindsay,
there's that much to go.
I just want to ask Lindsay, because I know she doesn't look at the show notes.
Nope.
Have you ever heard of Mayor Tiffany Henyard from Dolton before today? Because she's all over TikTok.
Rising
No.
star.
Oh God,
And she's running against
setting
President
star
Biden.
soon.
No.
We have very different TikTok.
Did you? So you
feeds.
don't know who she is, right?
No.
You're in for a treat, babe.
Okay.
John, have you heard of her before?
Just in the headlines.
just for the last week,
Guys,
Yeah.
first off, everybody thinks being mayor is easy. I'm going to prove to you it's not, because this lady's held it for about a year and she's being impeached, okay? But, like, this lady is a treat. The Dolton mayor, her name is Tiffany Henyard. We're going to cover her on LockPod because she's just like a whole content
we're going to
machine.
add her to the list of the gifts that keep on giving.
And we have so much already. We didn't want to do it in one episode. So we're going to give you a taste of what's to come in season 11, because we're going to cover this lady, and she's a treat.
Yep,
I love her.
It's fun.
I love her
She's
for
awesome.
what she does for LockPod.
She is awesome.
It's like Santos level. Type
Yes,
stuff at this
exactly.
point,
Absolutely.
I think
Good
she
call,
exceeds
John.
Santos. If she was elected,
I don't
to cover-
know. Santos is.
All right.
Yeah,
This
I don't know
chick
if
is-
she's at
She's
Santos
our
level.
local Santos. So
There you go.
And then we're coming back after that, and we're going to follow up a story we didn't do last show about Todd Rokita,
Another gift that keeps on giving.
That's right. And about his school snitch tool.
Oh.
You want to narc on your teacher?
I've played around with that.
Oh, we
yeah.
can't wait.
Oh, no.
All right,
We
save it,
should
Lynn.
do that
Save it
on
for the
LockPod.
third episode.
We
Third-
should do that on LockPod.
third segment.
I like snitching on my imaginary school.
All right.
Yeah,
I like
we
it.
should. You could put some stuff in. It'll just inflame Todd.
Yeah.
They'll go look, and there won't be any such teacher.
There's no such school as this school.
Yeah.
I love
They're
that.
indoctrinating
It's
us.
my favorite thing.
Oh, I can't wait for this. Lynn.
All right, so we're coming back with Tiffany. You are not going to want to miss
Mayor Tiff.
Mayor Tiffany. She is
Self-proclaimed super mayor.
yeah. She's taking my title. I'm America's mayor.
You're America's
As long as she doesn't mess with America's mayor, I'm
All right.
cool. So anyway, today we're coming live to you from IBEW Local 697 and NECA, Powering Indiana, Lake County Studios. They proudly bring you this show. With over a century of experience, they've been safely wiring the region. From powering corporations along the lakefront to lighting up homes across Lake County, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your trusted source for electrical professionals. Join them as they continue to light the way for Northwest Indiana. Visit Powering Indiana Lake County at www.poweringindiana.org.
Byway Brewing, a family-friendly microbrewery, welcomes you to their spacious taproom and outdoor patio. Enjoy award-winning craft beer, a chef-driven menu, and craft draft cocktails. Their unique brewing equipment and production facility provides a perfect backdrop for private events, whether it's a bridal shower, reunion, or corporate party. With their new food truck, they can cater to your corporate and private events off-site. Customer service is their top priority at Byway Brewing. Just off of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Discover more at bywaybrewing.beer.
Kuklakis Law. Are you currently navigating complex legal challenges and unsure of where to turn for guidance? Your search ends here with Kuklakis Law, your trusted partner for legal solutions in Indiana and Illinois. Whether you're seeking expert representation for real estate transactions, need assistance in forming your business, or have experienced a personal injury at work or in a car crash, Kuklakis Law is here for you. No matter the nature of your legal issue, our team is ready to help. Call us today at 219-671-6347 to schedule your free consultation. Hablamos Español.
Rogers Roofing. When you demand nothing but the best for your home and family, trust the industry leader, Rogers Roofing. For over 54 years, they've been transforming homes in Northwest Indiana and the Chicagoland. Their commitment to quality shines through in their roofing, siding, gutters, and windows, all backed by the most comprehensive warranties in the business. Visit their website at rogersroofing.com or call 219-933-9145 to schedule your free consultation. That's Rogers Roofing. Or 933-9145. At Rogers Roofing, we expect nothing less than excellence every time.
Misprint Printing. Elevate your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. With a 30-year legacy of excellence, their experienced team, led by Rick Baltonsberger, combines innovation and technology to deliver top-quality signs, printing, always on time and within budget, and sometimes metal business cards. Thank you. Visit them at misprintusa.com to bring your vision to life today, including a sign just like this in the studio. Misprint, your partner for creating impactful visual solutions.
I've been missing today, sorry.
It's okay. Thank you to our sponsors and our studio sponsor, Power in Indiana, Lake County.
I had that outburst, that ADD outburst right in the middle of your rant.
Dude, that was crazy.
It makes me feel I'm just talking,
No,
there's
you're
nobody
not.
else here.
There's people listening. Just
Just
not
not-
me.
just not
Tom.
Yeah, right.
Just not our locomotive.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I don't know what's
forgave
wrong
you.
with me, man.
It's
I
okay.
don't
Maybe
know.
it's the punchki. Too much sugar.
Probably. And then I'm really serious about this fast, and I didn't realize I can't control myself.
Perhaps
I was like,
it is ADD.
That is true. You could not control yourself. That is
could not.
absolutely true. You're like, oh my God, I got to
like,
have one of these.
if you put like mustard donut in front of me, it's over.
Let alone punchkis
A mustard
from Cakes
donut?
by Karen.
Right.
Munster.
But like if
Oh,
you had
Munster.
like
I was like,
punchkis
mustard.
or the purple, the yellow, pink frosting, forget it. I'm over. Hey man, I watched Oppenheimer this weekend.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Have you guys? Anybody?
Yeah, I saw it. I got it on Blu-ray 4K UHD.
It's
Whoa,
spectacular,
John.
right?
Yeah, I
I
wanted
think
to
you've
see
mentioned
it
that,
in all its
actually.
glory.
And
Kevin, you got to watch it.
All right, I have
will.
to watch it.
I will.
Kevin. Yeah.
Yep.
I watched it in 2 sittings because I'm ADD boy.
Mm-hmm.
3
Exactly.
hours.
I really think you should get diagnosed with something.
Why? Just diagnose
He enjoys
me.
it.
I sent you to nursing school.
He goes to
ADD
Michigan.
Diagnose
is
me.
not a real thing anymore. It's
Diagnose
ADHD.
me. Okay, whatever.
Well, I can't
Diagnose-
diagnose. I'm a nurse, not a doctor.
You
so.
can do it. It's all right. Dr. Forey used to be a doctor. He can't do it anymore either. Like
Well, I could give you
Yeah.
a nursing diagnosis.
what? The day you stop practicing law, Kevin. All right.
I'm not
I
a
will
lawyer
freaking
anymore.
disavow you.
All right.
Right. Yeah.
Fluoride, is he a doctor?
No.
No.
Not anymore.
Formerly
the
man
guy-
known as the
yeah,
guy
right.
formerly known as Dr.
But
Fluoride.
he's talking about opening another office. On
Yeah.
that day, we will reinstate his title.
All right.
Dr. Forey.
And we're only talking about Dr. Michael
Dr. Mike
Fluoride.
Forey.
Yeah,
The
let's
rest of
be
his family is
careful.
all doctors.
Yeah, they're fine.
Except for him. He no longer practices. So
Yeah,
So-
Oppenheimer was awesome.
it was spectacular.
All right, I got to watch it.
It's got everything for me. Nuclear weapons, which like I understand a lot about, politics, and great acting, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
and the Cillian Murphy. I've like
That man's got
I've
piercing
loved
eyes.
him since 28 Days Later, which was like one of his first.
I'm trying to
roles.
think. Which one is
Excellent
that?
film.
Which guy was that?
Zombie
It's a
movie.
zombie
Oh, the main
movie.
guy, Cillian Murphy.
Oh yeah. He was Oppenheimer. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, that was a really good movie.
yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
liked it a lot. It
I'm
was like
surprised.
it was like a mystery too, right?
It was.
Yeah, I didn't expect that part of it. It was like a whodunit kind of stuff.
Really?
Whodunit,
Yeah. It was like, wow,
gotta
I
watch
did not
this.
anticipate
Who
that.
invented the nuclear
No,
warhead?
no, it's like people that were like screwing each other over
Yeah.
politically.
Ooh.
It was great,
Spies.
man. It was great. I'm gonna watch it again now because it's like a.
All right, I'm
it'll
in.
like surprise you at the end. a
I
little
mean, I
bit.
knew it was going to be good, but I'm
It
glad
surprises
you.
you.
Great.
You know what? They drop a bomb on Nagasaki.
No
It
way.
was shocking.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
They dropped
Donald Trump and
two.
I both learned it for the first time when we watched Oppenheimer. What? That's how World War II ended? Holy shit! All right, I have a new favorite mayor, besides the Mayor Hammond. So
Besides himself.
sorry, Mayor Hogshead. I apologize in advance. But once you meet Mayor Tiffany Henyard,
She takes the cake.
yeah,
She takes
not
the
because she's
cake,
good.
dude.
She's a horrible mayor, but she is very interesting.
Oh, that is the conclusion you've arrived at. You don't side with her at all on anything.
She's making a huge mistake.
Okay.
Her mistake is this: she's so cocky and in your face. She thinks that as long as the residents of Dolton continue to vote for her, that she has nobody to answer to. And I think Kevin and I are looking at her a little funny right now.
Yeah, and arguably they don't even want to continue to vote for her, and we'll get to that
Yeah.
as well in the segment.
But like, she's cocky as hell.
Dude.
she's definitely in your face, like aggressive.
That clip of her in front of all the council people.
Oh,
Well, we're
And
not
I-
going there yet.
We're not going
No,
there.
no, no.
Oh,
That's
shoot.
next
Okay.
episode,
That's
John.
Okay.
dude. This is a multiple part. This is
Quit
we're
jumping
gonna
ahead.
build. We're painting the picture right now.
Okay.
we're painting the background.
But there was a little carrot there from John, so keep listening to
Dude,
this in
this is-
future
I think
episodes.
I saw that on TikTok,
This is not getting better
and
for
I was
us.
like, boring.
And I predict at the end of this little journey, we're going to see the FBI in Dalton, and Mayor Tiffany's going to
if
be
they're not already there.
if they're not already there. So like, we're going to paint a picture of how sometimes elected officials, in this case a mayor, thinks the only people they have to answer to are the voters, and then
or
they-
maybe even their supporters. Don't even have to answer their detractors. I
Right.
mean, one of the things I admire about you is that you're like, hey, I'm out here. Ask me any question. I'll accept any criticism, and you actually welcome detractors from
Yeah.
say, come on, let's go.
Right.
You want to come and
I went to the council.
Mayor's night out.
Yeah, that is Mayor's night out in a nutshell. I went to the council last night and I was like, anybody have any questions? And nobody asked me one. And I'm like,
That's okay.
I was like bumming a little bit. I'm like, seriously?
It's fine.
Nobody wants to spar.
We had pre-show to do.
Nobody wants to spar. So anyway, why don't we go ahead and May 9th, 2021, Mayor Tiffany Henyard, Henyard, is elected the first African-American female mayor of Dolton, Indiana. Why don't we go ahead and play that first clip there?
The new mayor says she has big plans for the village of Dolton. She wants to boost the economy and curb crime.
Are you ready to take your oath?
Yes. Tonight, Dolton's new mayor, Tiffany Henyard, sworn in.
Dolton residents, I am reporting for duty.
Henyard, now the first woman and the youngest person to ever be elected mayor of the South Suburb.
Tiffany didn't just shatter that ceiling. She brought it all the way down.
She was born and raised in Dolton and ran on a campaign of change. One of the top priorities, addressing crime, appointing Chief Robert Collins to the police department.
Village of Dolton to the best of my ability.
Collins resigned last year under the previous administration.
Crime has been on the rise in Dolton for a long time. I am bringing back Chief Collins, and I am charging him with bringing a comprehensive policing plan to fight crime.
Also, Dolton's Fire Chief Stephen McCain will remain in office.
I am also charging Pete.
Good. Yeah. Okay. So that's like the introductory.
Was it just weird? Did she look like she was going to like a school dance, like a prom? She had like a corsage on her wrist. It was very. I mean, she's young, so maybe that's part of it. She's,
really?
Right here.
She looks pretty.
Yeah, I was like, man, she's very pretty. Yeah. Very pretty.
She's got a matching one with her husband.
She looks a lot like Marissa.
Single mom.
Yeah, it's funny.
Heard, so
she's really pretty though.
Then
like,
the guy next to her has a corsage.
Okay.
So she's probably 30.
She's 37.
37. Okay.
When she was elected, I think.
Which is young. I was 34. That's a young mayor, and young mayors
bring energy.
They bring energy and inexperience, by the way, and I acknowledge that. When I walked into City Hall and I was 34 years old, I probably made more mistakes than I would make nowadays. You know, and she's going to make mistakes. She's a brand new mayor, and we're going to start digging into that. But she is popular though. Okay. And I'm going to segue into the second part of this segment. Popular enough where, and in Illinois, they have a weird law. Okay. In Indiana, we have something that's called 2 lucrative positions for elected officials. It's a law. Kevin, could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So there is a prohibition in the Indiana Constitution about holding 2 lucrative positions. And that's been interpreted a lot of different ways, from like you can't be a city council member and on the redevelopment commission because of the things that the redevelopment commission does. Like, you know,
it only applies to elected officials.
It only applies to elected officials. And if you violate that, you actually lose your first elected office. You vacate it.
So I'm mayor.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say I take a position, a lucrative position.
Like you want to run for state rep.
I run for state rep.
And win.
And I win.
Mm-hmm.
Under Indiana law, I automatically lose my first position.
Your mayoral position,
right.
Correct.
And I just know that going in, that if I'm successful, I'm no longer mayor.
What is defined as a lucrative position?
The courts have interpreted it. Lindsay, a lot of times there's like attorney general opinions. There's a couple of appellate court opinions on what it is, but it has to do not necessarily always with the fact that you're getting a salary, but also about what your duties are. Like, can you, it's the power of, like, let's say I can, to incur debt on behalf of the organization or the commission because you can approve bonds. That's the factor.
What if you were like you worked for the post office? You were just
that's a good. Well, that's a
Hobbs or not Hobbs. That's a robbery. Yeah.
And then you became a mayor, or
what's the name of that?
You can't, honey. If you're a federal employee, you cannot run for local office. Kevin and I it is escaping a Hatch Act.
Hatch Act. Thank you.
Yeah, it's the prohibition on federal employees running.
What if I was like a grocery store clerk?
Nope, not a lucrative.
So this
position.
was a lucrative position in Indiana, and we're starting to get up.
Anything with like a salary is a lucrative position.
No, it's not just money.
Right, it's power. Okay, so like if I wanted to be on the water board, something as easy as that. Like, it doesn't sound like harmful. Can I be on the water board? No. If I put myself on the water board, that's been deemed a lucrative position, I would vacate my mayor spot. So I don't want it that bad.
Wow.
To lose my job so I could be on the water board. So in Indiana, elected officials are not allowed to take 2 lucrative positions.
And that's a good point, Tom, is that what you brought up is like the water board is appointed, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not a lucrative position.
Right.
There is an opinion that being on a Port Authority board and a city council member were 2 lucrative positions. Right. So, I mean, it's interesting, and it's something that I don't know if it's unique to Indiana. Probably not, but it doesn't exist in Illinois.
Right. In fact, the mayor of Calumet City, I know him. He's a great guy, Mayor Thaddeus, is also a state rep.
Yeah.
So the mayor of Cal City, which is a job with a $200,000 a year salary.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they make more than the mayor.
Must be
Hammond.
nice.
I agree. I think my bosses should look over there and like adjust accordingly personally. But so he makes a couple $100,000 as mayor, and in Illinois, because he could hold another position, he also ran for state. Well, he was actually state rep first.
Yeah.
And that job comes with $100,000
Wow.
plus salary. So
that's a lot.
Mayor Thaddeus and Representative Thaddeus is making $300,000+, and he has a pension from both.
It's a lot.
It's great. It's a great job. So.
Okay.
So in Illinois, they do not have two lucrative positions. And the reason, now getting back to Mayor Tiffany, is she's obviously popular mayor of Dolton, was elected. And then, lucky for her, a year later, a township trustee position in Thornton Township comes up, and she runs for it.
I didn't know if she was ran or was appointed. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she won. She became Thornton Township trustee. Could you hit that? That's on April 10th, 2022. So like a year after she wins as mayor, she wins as township trustee, which is going to put her salary above $300,000 for both positions as well, which is awesome, by the way.
Yeah, close. I mean, so it's Dolton mayor salary is only $46,000.
Oh, really?
Well, it's a
Okay.
part-time, considered to be a part-time
Okay.
job.
I'm sorry.
And then her supervisor position in the township is $224,000.
Okay.
So yeah, you're right. 300. I mean, it's right around 300. So 224 is
to
the
be
salary.
a supervisor
Yes.
for one. Holy,
it's like basically being like on the
crap.
township advisory board or township trustee, right?
Are you serious? The
Yes.
board?
It was.
I thought she was the actual trustee.
No, she's on the board. So she
They
might
make
be the president of the board, but they all make it.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
The board members?
Yes. So
That's a
it
nice
reached
gig.
that amount in
Holy
2017
crap.
under Frank Zuccarelli. It's higher salary than 49 of 50 state governors, including Pritzker.
Oh my!
Yes. And
I did not know
this
that.
is interesting. 57% of township supervisors in the Chicago area make less than $30,000 a year.
This
is
shocking.
224.
Welcome
and
to Cook County, everybody.
Want to hear even crazier? Okay, so the township supervisors in Thornton Township, which is where she serves at $224 a year, they passed an ordinance that said if anybody is elected in their first term, they only make $25,000.
But
So it's to discourage people from running against them.
it's like a poison pill. If you run against her,
yeah, your salary is only going to be $25,000.
that was another story we were going to cover down the road. But
Oh, I'm
like,
sorry.
We'll get into
that
it.
was in this whole township.
'Cause this is
it's
all-
crazy.
By the way, all the stuff we're talking to you about is all like being lit up by the Chicago media. By the way, you know who else watches Chicago media? The FBI. You idiot, Tiffany. Like all this stuff, all this attention she's getting is being blasted daily, and we're doing it on Lockpod now. And you like that's how mayors get in trouble. Mayors get in trouble because of bad press. Not that the media is going to get you in trouble.
And doing bad things.
Right. There's somebody in the Department of Justice reading this newspaper, Mayor Tiffany, and they're like seeing all this ridiculous stuff about you, and you're just spitting in their face. That's not going to end good.
And I don't know, I don't know the facts on like how this stuff got passed. Like, by the way, she didn't give herself the $224,000 salary. That was instituted years before she started. She just got the job. So there's nothing wrong with that and her holding these two positions. But it's a lot of the other stuff that I think is garnering unneeded attention for the mayor.
So could you click on that second one?
Yep, here it is.
Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard was sworn in today as supervisor of Thornton Township. She is the youngest person, first woman, and first African American to hold that office. She says she is truly honored and humbled.
I can't help but to pause and appreciate the historic significance of this appointment. I take great pride in being an African American woman leader.
But Henyard's first year as a Dolton mayor has been difficult. The village board is suing her, claiming, among other things, conflicts of interest.
The village board is suing her, which is like the council.
Correct.
People,
Yeah.
right?
So like the council suing the mayor there, which is complete and utter dysfunction. That happened before I took over.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, the previous council sued the previous mayor before I took over, which was total dysfunction.
Right.
And
Things didn't
I
get
beat
done.
the shit out of him when I was running out of the mayor. Because I was like, I promise you, my council won't sue me. When I'm mayor, I promise you, we'll be working together. And by the way, I know that the Hammond Council and the mayor, we don't work together. I mean, we don't fight. Sometimes we do fight, but like, look at what we've done in 20 years.
Well, I think it's a
Total
testament
cooperation.
to when the mayor and the council are on the same page, and other cities around the region have struggled with that. But
Yeah.
when the city council and the mayor are on the same page, things get done.
Yep.
Things get done. And that's kudos to you and the council.
All right, we're going to do one more part of Mayor Tiffany's story, and we're going to cut off her story, and we're going to repeat it. I mean, we're going to get it back to continuing this.
We're going to expand because there's more to talk about.
Oh, there's a lot more to talk about. This lady is incredible. So she is incredible, man. I hopefully at the end of all
she
this,
is a super mayor.
She's super publicity generator.
There you go.
Yeah. Within 1 year of her being elected mayor of Dolton, her residents voted to recall her, and they won. Like a year later, they voted to recall her. And why is she still mayor? That's a whole other story.
Yeah.
So let's keep.
Let's go ahead and click on this next one.
Now to campaign 2022. In a recall fight in Chicago's south suburbs, people in the village of Dolton voted to kick the mayor out of office. But as CBS 2's Dermot Terry reports, the mayor is not going anywhere for now.
Is she pulling a Trump?
Congratulations, Madam Mayor.
Just over a year after getting sworn in as Dolton's mayor, voters recalled Tiffany Henyard Tuesday.
We listened to the community. The community has asked us, what can we do? They were uncomfortable with lack of transparency. They were uncomfortable with the spending.
Village trustee Jason House believes the referendum to recall the mayor was necessary and fair.
We are a democracy. The people have spoken, and we really are going to do everything we can to make sure that their voice is heard.
But the mayor took her fight to court and won in the lower court. This ruling by the Illinois Appellate Court days before Tuesday's election said the recall election could go on, and those votes can get counted but not certified.
What you have here is absolutely a legal roller coaster.
CBS 2 legal analyst Irv Miller says despite the recall prevailing, it's unclear where the votes stand at this moment.
They've asking for time to review it. They could say after they review it in September, hey, these votes count, this mayor's out of office. Or in the alternative, they could say, hey, listen, this wasn't a valid election. This mayor's staying right where she's at.
Mayor Henyard says, I remain confident the appellate court will affirm the recall initiative is unconstitutional. But sadly, because the vote was allowed to happen, our community is more divided than ever.
That's good,
As
John.
we await a final...
What the hell does that mean?
That means she won. She's still there.
Yeah, she's still the mayor. So I think what that means. Okay, so the important part of that was that the appellate opinion said you can take the vote. So they didn't want to stop what was happening, but don't certify it until we figure out whether this is a valid recall or election. Because, for example, they don't in Indiana. You can't. There are no recalls. It's not in the Constitution. In some states like Wisconsin, California, there's a constitutional ability to recall.
Mm-hmm.
And so. Eventually, the court found that the recall was not constitutional, and they left her in office. Even though, by the way, her theory was that people were confused about the recall, so many people didn't go out and vote. But they said that in the recall election, only 100 people left that question blank, and she lost by over 400. So I don't know. Who knows?
So hopefully we wet your beak about Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Lindsay,
man.
what do you think?
I like her confidence.
You like her? You do?
I like her spunk.
No one can deny that.
Spunky.
She
Get
has
your
spunk.
bag,
No
girl,
one.
Okay? Get your bag. All right. You went from, being a single mom, and now you're making so much money. Like, just keep going. Good for you.
Wow,
Okay.
Lindsay. All right.
All right, that's interesting.
It's a young woman.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if she stays on that train.
I want to see if she's on that
I have
train
a
by
feeling
next week.
We're going to shake your confidence a little bit on her, I promise you, okay?
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm here for the roller coaster.
Good.
Yes, there
Good.
is one.
I like it. All right, let's go ahead and do some ads, and we'll
That
come
was
back.
a great little tease.
I agree.
Congratulations,
we were
Locomotive.
trying to fit it into one show, and then we were
It's impossible.
This is going to be a multiple show.
There's too much.
We'd be shortchanging it if we did it in one
Agree.
show. So this is something we're going to follow up. Thank you, Mayor Tiffany. You are now the subject of Lockpod. We're following up.
Thanks for the content, boo.
I have a feeling we're going to be hiring her for a cameo soon.
I would.
Have her
man.
interview. Let's bring her in.
I would be down with that, but she probably won't do that after watching us. But
Yeah.
I would. I'll reach out to her.
There's a lot of. I'm telling you, she's not real good with reporters. She doesn't answer those questions.
I agree, but we could tell her we'll be pros.
Yeah.
I mean, we're being professional. We're reporting.
Yeah, I'd say let's get through our 3 episode, and then let's see where we're
we'll
at.
see where we're at.
We should have brought her in first.
Oh,
good call, John.
God, but then we would have had to
Yeah.
ask her about all
Deep
these
dive
other things we're going to do and talk about.
We're going to have to cut some of her clips because she's like, they don't want, she was talking to their council members and she was like, they don't want to talk to you. They don't want to hear from you. They want to hear from the mayor. The mayor, I'm the leader. And I'm like, we got to clip that.
You should start playing that at council meetings.
I know, right?
That should be like a soundbite we use.
Yeah, right, Linz? It'll be one of the John's buttons.
Yeah, that is good.
That's coming down the road. There's some crazy
That
shit.
needs to be a sound clip. So when you're speaking, we're just going to play that.
At the Calumet meeting?
Yeah.
I love the poorly educated.
That's right. It'll be right there. So. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our ads, and we'll come back. We're going to talk about Todd Rokita's Narc tool. How to narc on your teacher by Todd Rokita.
Have a lot of fun for a couple hours on your own.
Todd Rokita is not lovable. He is just not lovable.
He doesn't make himself very lovable.
Really? I know, right?
He's not like a warm and fuzzy guy.
Really?
Sharp edges.
I know.
But this kind of thing gets certain people going,
I think you've discovered, John. You've basically made his point.
Yes,
it's an election
He's
year.
shrewd, no doubt, but he's not lovable.
It's definitely getting him headlines, that's for sure.
As opposed to me, I'm very lovable.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
I think we'd all agree on that.
Ever
right?
that. Yeah.
Sure.
Who doesn't like a guy that eats a strawberry punchki on his podcast?
Freaking screws up his fast. Calumet Brewing. It's time to experience Michelob Ultra with only 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, and 4.2 ABV. The perfect way to start 2024 and keep those resolutions in check. Doesn't matter if you're kicking back after a workout, hitting a pickup game at the park, or heading out for a day on the slopes. Be sure to enjoy a superior light beer that's only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra is brewed to be a complement to your healthy lifestyle. Head over to the Cal Brewer or Michelob Ultra websites and social media pages for details on this great family of beers. Enjoy the Ultra lifestyle with beers, and cheers responsibly.
Prestmer Insurance Company. For decades, the Ron Shea Prestmer Insurance Agency has been your trusted neighbor right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all your insurance needs. Their wide range of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, and life insurance, have helped over 1,000 individuals and businesses throughout Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron or Ronnie today at 219-844-0103. They're here to protect what matters most to you.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon sets the gold standard for Mexican cuisine across the Midwest. Look for our iconic red and white label at your local grocery store and indulge in the finest Mexican products crafted with local expertise and savor the taste of authenticity. Discover the flavors of Tortillas Nuevo Leon today.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón.
I love Lindsey Cam.
Hey, speaking of Tortillas Nuevo Leon, I want to give a special shout out to my brother Paul, who's watching from Mexico.
Nice.
Right?
Hola.
Wish we were with you, Paul.
Buenos dias.
Yeah, I wish I was with him too.
Más cerveza, por favor.
Yeah.
This early?
Sí, muy bien. Okay. MCR Partners. Are you seeking expertise in economic development, finance, and planning? Look no further than MCR Partners, your go-to professionals for comprehensive solutions. Their dedicated team is ready to assess your opportunities and ensure the successful completion of your projects. Discover the difference MCR Partners can make in navigating the intricacies of economic development. Stay informed and connected by visiting their websites at mcrpartnersllc.com for personalized assistance. Reach out to Matt Reardon at 219-741-9511. MCR Partners has got great clients. I want to say the County of LaPorte or the city, but Quantum Corridor also big. So these guys are on the cutting edge. MCR Partners. Matt Reardon.
Give Matt a call.
He's a smart dude. So,
welcome back to Power in Indiana, Lake County Studios.
Yes, sir. Thanks. Kevin, this is your story, but it's about a repeated topic. Todd Rokita, he's probably one of LockPod's favorite personalities.
Gross.
We've said it before, he's the gift that keeps on giving. Our Attorney General in Indiana is somebody that is not afraid of taking pretty controversial stands and promoting his brand, which has become over the years very much in step with Trump.
Yeah,
with President Trump.
He wasn't always like that, though.
No, I think he found his lane.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm going to stick here because it's going to help me.
When he was Secretary of State, this is before Trump existed. He was progressive, good government, progressive.
Wow.
He
pissing off his party.
His party hated him because they looked at him like a Democrat. And then all of a sudden Trump came around. Todd Rokita's career was already pretty much destroyed by then, and he was like, I got a new lane. I'm a Trumper.
Yeah, he lost just kind of a couple of his losses were he lost to Braun in the Senate Republican
and Braun
primary.
at the time was a nobody.
Yeah.
At the time, Braun was a nobody.
Was not an elected official.
He was a multimillionaire.
Yep.
Which he helped finance his race. It not helped it finance his race, but
he did. He self-financed it, absolutely. And then he also lost to Governor Holcomb in the caucus.
Right.
Because he tried to...
True story.
Yeah. So,
True story.
And the Republicans also districted him out of his own congressional district.
They redistricted him out of his own district, his own party.
Not that he couldn't run, because you can run for Congress if you don't live in your district.
He would have had to move. Well,
yeah, he didn't have to, but I don't know if he did or didn't. But anyway, and then comes around Trump, and he really went all in MAGA. He's all in. So, and that's just I'm not criticizing him for it. That's just what he is. That's kind of the lane he's in. He's found it to be successful. He's gone down to the border. He supports Governor Abbott.
Rokita.
He's done a lot of... yes, that's him. Trump has even called him out on stage. Yeah. And he definitely uses his platform as Attorney General to take on national issues.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm in on the border all the way. I'm, whatever it is. And this is interesting. So as you know, like the Republican Party kind of took aim at school boards and parental, having parents more involved in like curriculum and what's being taught, and they took on as if they took on critical race theory as if it was something that was taught like the first graders and things like that. And they also took on like some gender issues. Transgender was a big issue, and now General Rokita has decided. What'd you call it? I like the way you call it, the NARC tool. The NARC tool. He has launched Eyes on Education portal.
Marissa and I used to talk about with the kids. What are the kids that block the traffic? The NARC patrol. That's what we call
the crossing guards.
Yeah, they would always get like a fellow kid to be right, Lindsay.
I was a crossing guard.
Lindsay was too.
She's on TikTok.
It was called the Conflict Patrol, and I got put on probation because I missed a fight and I wasn't there to intervene.
Way to go, Lindsay.
I taught her the right thing.
What'd you call the NARC Patrol?
Yeah, NARC Patrol.
NARC Patrol.
We taught them early on.
Hey, I don't snitch on nobody. I may have seen that fight and I didn't report it.
That's
and
right.
I got in trouble.
Good job, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Linz.
Thanks, Linz. The NARC
Anthony
Patrol.
Janiga, you got to do a fight?
Come on now. He works for, I'm sure he doesn't want people to know he got in a fight. We got your back, Anthony. We got your back. Always have. From freaking day one, right?
I got your back.
Don't start snitching now.
Anthony J, right?
Hey, statute of limitations on schoolyard fights is
That's
passed.
Right. Is it good? All right. Thanks. Lindsay, Karen is a huge listener.
Yes.
So I'm sure she'll pass along our well wishes.
Yeah,
Anthony J.
He's a big guy.
We had your back in the day. He wasn't so big back then,
buddy.
right? Yeah. Lindsay was on NARC Patrol, and we buried
I don't narc on nobody.
There's a lot of negatives.
There's the title of the show. I don't narc on nobody.
I don't know if that ended up being a positive.
I don't narc on nobody.
With those double negatives, that means I narc on everybody? I don't know where it ended up. I need to look at that.
I understood what she meant. I don't narc on nobody.
Listen here. I'm not narking on anyone. Is that better?
Boss
I love
it. Boss is there.
Eyes on it.
All right, straighten up, everybody, and fly right.
Get rid of the donuts. Get rid of the donuts.
Business manager Steve is in the house.
All right. Be cool now. Don't be...
Relax.
So Eyes on Education portal was launched about 2 weeks ago to allow anyone, by the way, to submit inappropriate materials they find in Indiana schools without notifying the Indiana Department of Education.
You know, it'd be fun
Yeah.
is if you had like something that said Todd Rokita is a jagoff, and you took I found this in teacher so and so's classroom.
That's a great idea.
Todd Rokita sucks.
The portal invites anyone to upload educational materials being used in Indiana classrooms that are objectionable or that violate Indiana law. Rokita said the new portal is meant to provide more transparency for parents on what is being taught in schools and a way to fight back against, quote, socialist indoctrination.
NARC
happening in schools.
Thank you, Todd, for protecting us. This is the guy that protected us from the Chinese invasion of Valparaiso University, too.
That's true.
He's watching out for us.
He always
is. China has their eyes set on Valparaiso.
That's how they were going to start, Lindsay. Like we make light of it.
They're in the middle of the Midwest.
The Chinese plan, like the I forgot what they called it. I was coming up with a name real quick, but I didn't want to get myself in trouble.
This nice lady, Meg Kilgannon, who is a right-winger from the Family Research Council, said to the Washington Stand, I have no idea what publication that is, she added, red states can feel a false sense of security about the quality and ideological content of their school programs and curricula, but the folks who live in red states and vote to keep them that way must understand that their home states are targeted by leftist agitators who use public programs and especially public schools to advance a leftist mission.
I love it.
You
Hey,
know-
freaking men.
John, come
you
on.
know, I
do.
I filled out
Stop.
a couple false reports that definitely wasted a couple hours of my
Good.
time.
Good. And
John, your wife works for schools.
Does your
Yeah.
does your wife
What about it?
give
Is she
us
pushing-
socialist propaganda?
Is she
Is she a leftist? Is she pushing a
lefty
leftist
shit?
mission?
No.
Okay.
Do you think I
She
pushed a
stays out of it.
leftist mission?
She stays out of it.
Smart.
She should. They should all stay out of it.
But I don't think the leftist mission is being pushed in these schools. So anyway,
I
I
disagree.
really
The-
don't
the
think
thing-
so. When was the last time you spent time in a school?
I was almost lost to liberalism forever by a college professor.
Yeah,
Thank
but
God
John,
I was saved.
John,
Oh, God.
the best part about that is
That's
that you're a critical
college.
thinker and you can make your own decision. So if a leftist professor wants to try to give you
That's
ideas,
what college is for.
you get to think about it. Go figure. I get to actually think about something and make a decision on my own, and not have my parents or anybody else tell me what I should think.
But this Narc machine isn't for college. It's
No.
for high school,
Okay.
middle school, and elementary
You're
school.
right.
I
That's
read a
exactly
little bit
right.
about this. I like it to a point. I
Okay.
think the fact that you can upload stuff and it's just in the public
Mm-hmm.
versus it being a private portal might be problematic.
Yeah, I think that's
so. People are just uploading stuff now that one can see.
Ooh,
You have
I
Todd
wanna go
Rokita
see
as
if
a
somebody put
jagoff,
my
and
name
then
in there.
they had this in the bathroom of my school, right?
Scrawled
right?
on the
It said Todd Rokita is an asshole.
I think
and
that's
then it's on a
ideological.
public-
I think that's a leftist agenda.
I went to the
leftist
bathroom
agenda,
and on
right?
the stall it said, "Call this number for a good time."
right? And you actually put his phone number down. You
Yeah.
just-
So I think, just going back to what John said, I think that's part of the problem. I mean, number one, the Department of Education was left totally in the dark about this, so they had nothing to do with this, which I think is mistake number one. Number two, you can just upload it and it's seen by everyone versus in most cases, let's just say attorney disciplinary issues, right? You file a complaint against somebody. It's not posted on the website. It gets looked at, investigated. Is this credible? Is this not? And then go from there.
Sometimes it's dismissed and you don't even know you had something pending.
Right, and they send you a letter. That
Because
happens.
in politics, sometimes Kevin and I get people going after our law licenses.
It's really pleasant. It's
and then
exciting.
we don't even know what's happening, and then you'll get a letter from the disciplinary commission that said, "Hey, Joe Blow attorney filed a complaint against you, and we dismissed it because it's meritless."
Yeah.
And you're like, "What the?" You
That's
know,
probably
like-
the way to go. Here,
Right.
If you're
Right,
gonna
John.
do
So,
something.
Agree.
Exactly. So, and I'm not saying that there may not be materials that the attorney general should look at. Right, that's his agenda. That's his prerogative. Have at it. My problem is that what has happened in the first week, 13 things were uploaded, and almost to a T, every one of the school systems said, we don't even use this material anymore. This isn't even something we've ever used. This isn't. We haven't had a chance to even look at this. They need to have a chance to respond and then go from there.
Right.
I think that's the best thing. So, anyway, the Narc patrol is out thanks to Attorney General Rokita.
I think he's
Feel free to fill out random stuff.
Yeah, I think he's the most covered topic on LockPod. Todd Rokita.
He's right up there.
Does that mean that we're fans?
Stay strong, Rokita.
We are in a way.
Don't listen to
I
these
think we're.
guys.
I think
Shut
we're
up,
fans. Yeah. But we even when Destiny, we talked to Destiny.
Yeah.
And she's been on the show multiple times.
Yeah?
She's always talking about Rokita.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the number of times Rokita's been mentioned, I bet you he's been mentioned on most of the episodes.
Good or bad?
She's running against him, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
she is.
Yeah.
Because I saw. So do we gonna play this video? Of
You
his-
can play it. Sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's play this real quick.
This is General Rokita introducing the Eyes on Education.
We got eyes on you.
Big Brother.
When I hear eyes on, it's not positive.
Narc Patrol.
I got eyes on you, buddy.
That's a super wide monitor too. Holy shit!
It is.
John, I love that your IT eyes saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
My office is launching Eyes on Education, an online platform for students and parents to submit and view real examples of indoctrination in classrooms across our state. This provides a forum through which concerned parents and guardians can share their experiences and observations about what's happening actually in Indiana schools. We've listened to your concerns, and with this tool, you'll be able to see materials being sent to us and take action with principals, school boards, lawmakers, and the governor. Visit www.in.gov/Attorney General to view and submit your own examples today.
So, do you think he had a script, or was he just it seemed like he was really.
It's a script.
It was
Yeah.
He brings
terribly-
violent tendencies out in me.
I like how he said the word tool. That got me excited.
He is a freaking douche, man. He's so fake.
At
and
what
just
point do we cross the line into fashion,
Yeah.
controlling?
Well, it's Big Brother.
We got eyes on you, you teachers. These teachers that are completely underpaid. We got our eyes on you, freaking teachers,
Yeah.
indoctrinating my kid into socialism.
come become a teacher in Indiana.
Yeah, right.
It's fun.
Yeah, we value that profession. We got our eyes on you people.
Exactly. As if we aren't struggling enough for teachers in the state, and now we're gonna like
this,
eyes on you.
This guy's
I got
watching
eyes on you.
Yeah.
Freaking, you indoctrinating my kid in the LGBTQ agenda. I got my eyes on you.
Yeah, man.
God forbid
there it
I
is. Look,
teach
Big
people
Brother.
to
There you go.
have,
Big
like,
Brother's
a-
watching.
We are
you.
watching.
That's
We are
exactly
watching
true.
you, teachers.
That's the first tweet.
Yeah.
It's such a freaking.
It's so true, though.
Jag off,
If
man.
Destiny is our
God.
next Attorney General and Jennifer McCormick is the governor, we've got to move out of the state. Oh boy, there's that again.
Jeez, oh, Pete.
It's a little intense.
Yeah, right wing.
It's cheap here. I'm gonna stay.
So all right. So anyway, that's thank you, Todd Rokita, for another great topic.
Thank you, General.
Hey, we're gonna start swinging on the way out here, but I want to say thanks to Linz for coming in again. Good to see you, babe. Jay
You're
Vez,
lucky I'm
another great
here.
show. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Kevin Chandler, and coming to you from the Locomotive. I do have a great video that mocks all of
this is
those.
great.
Are you ready to go? Because this is a great video. This is a young lady. I'm pretty sure she's mocking
Satire.
I'm pretty sure it's satire, but she's mocking all those men that hate watching Taylor Swift pop up on their footballs.
They only showed her like 3 times at the Super Bowl.
I know.
Yeah,
no,
they
it was
didn't show
over.
much.
The over and under was 5.5, and it was.
You guys
over.
called it under.
It was
You
over.
guys- I thought I was going to be over. Oh, it was over 5.5?
It was over?
That's what I read.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
12. Yeah, right. So it was an over. But
I called
this
over.
this video is mocking those men that don't like it when Taylor Swift pops up on their football game. So take care, everybody. Lockpod's out after this video. We will be back on Friday, season 11, episode 12. Take care, everybody. Lockpod's out.
Really angry and upset right now because I was just watching the Eras Tour. I was literally just watching the Eras Tour. I wanted to see Taylor Swift perform, and for a total of 20 seconds during the whole like 3.5 hour performance, there were like 20 seconds where it showed fucking Travis Kelce, and it's just like I was like, what? He was there like supporting his girlfriend and cheering for her, and I was like, I don't even understand like what he's doing there and why is it showing him? Like I just don't get it. And it's really not fair for us Swifties who have been fans of Taylor Swift for our whole lives. Like we wanted to watch her perform and the cameras just keep panning to Travis Kelce. And it's like, okay, like what? It's just not fair. It's just inconsiderate. And he's like, when it comes down to it, like he's ruining live music. Like it just makes me like I just feel like I couldn't ever even go to another concert again. Like, I just feel like I can't even go to a concert because he's ruining it. Like, what's he even doing there? If I wanted to see him, I would have watched football. Like, it's not fair. It's just not fucking fair.